So we've had a big dump of rain this past week, and it's made some of the estuary systems around the Merimbula area absolutely fire. G'day guys, Jamari here with another Boss Outdoor Fishing Report. So the estuaries this past week have been fishing really well. With that rain dump that we had over the last few days, all those estuary systems have had a big flush out. All the bait fish gets pushed down towards the front of the estuary. So all those feeder creeks that run into all the estuaries, and the Bega River being a big one for the Mogareka system, they all flush the bait down towards the front of this estuary system, and your big predators, your jewfish, flathead, and even sharks will all sit down the front, even on the beach, but also just inside the mouth there, waiting for everything to come down. And that did happen. We've seen plenty of mulloway caught, plenty of big flatties, and there's lots of sharks on the beaches as well. So shark fishermen, and then everyone who loves getting after the flatties and jew, have been getting into quite a lot of fish. Yeah, some great captures over the last week of those sorts of fish. As for the other species in the estuaries, the Merimbula system here hasn't been fishing too well. There's definitely still trevally and bream down towards the front with that flush out. It's a little bit hit and miss sometimes. The fish seem to congregate in certain areas and they're not as spread out through the system. So if you're not catching fish, they're probably somewhere else. When we have a big rain event like this, it's hard to find fish sometimes. But once you do, it can be some really great fishing. So just move around a little bit more, maybe try some spots that you wouldn't think would normally hold fish. Sometimes that can be quite productive. So your bream, trevally and flathead are still definitely all in the Merimbula system. So the beach fishing this past week's been a little bit hit and miss. With that massive swell that we had, a lot of the gutters will have changed. So next time you go beach fishing, there may not be a hole where you've been in the past. It may have changed. So just have a look before you start fishing where those gutters are, because generally when we get a big swell like this, it moves the sand around quite a lot, and yeah, those gutters can change. But aside from that, the beach fishing the previous week was really good. Lots of salmon and tailor getting around on the beaches, and now with this rain dump, all that fresh water pushing out of the estuary systems both to the south and to the north of Merimbula, with that dirty water on the beaches, there's always a chance of mulloway as well. And those who love shark fishing off the beaches, now is the time. Right in the middle of summer, just after a rain event, that's when the sharks feed. So as for the offshore flatty fishing, I haven't heard too much, mostly just because of this swell that we've had. A lot of boats haven't been able to get out, and the wind as well has been quite terrific. So the offshore flatty scene, I'm not sure this past week, but generally after we get a big flush out from the systems like this, closer in fish is better, especially over summer. All the prawns get flushed out of the estuary systems, and the ocean flathead come in to try and eat the ran out prawns that get pushed out of all the systems. So that could be an option once this swell settles down a little bit. Try a little bit closer in to start. I could be wrong. They may not be there. If they're not there, push out to your normal flatty grounds, but try in close first. So off the rocks, wharves and headlands at the moment, I definitely wouldn't advise fishing until this swell settles down quite a lot. It's just not super safe to get on there when there's a big groundswell. Groundswells in particular, because they often don't look like much, and then they'll hit the rock and surge up much further than how high the actual swell is. But I have heard a few whispers of some early season bonito, so once this swell does settle down, the bonnies could be here in numbers as well. So that's quite exciting for those of you who love spinning the rock ledges. So the marlin fishing offshore is definitely starting to heat up. Once this swell settles down and it becomes a little bit easier to get offshore, it's definitely worth a crack at a few marlin. We had a staff member who recently went up the coast a little bit, got up to 6 marlin in a day, so that current's really starting to funnel down the coast, and there's definitely fish with it. So get out there and chase a few marlin once this swell dies down. Well, that wraps up this week's Boss Outdoor Fishing Report, guys. If there's anything else you need to know, whether it's camping, fishing, boating, or anything else outdoors, come in store, see the team so we can hook you up.